Wait. Well, I'm gonna have to listen to this back later to see how the volume sounds, but where is it getting this audio from? I'm like new to this, so let me bear with me for a sec. Stereo mix, microphone mix, stereo mix, microphone, array HD. Okay, so it's good. So I could switch between the things. Let's see. Oh, okay. 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 I like this. Wait, how do I boost up the... What does this do now? Okay, that's nice. Did they hear that? Everybody hear a baby? Bossed up. Anyways, fix this. Let's check out. Check out something. Let's go check out some X. Oh, it's double on double. Gotcha. How does this work? This cook got kicked out of a sushi place. roll. My dad is. Interesting. Gotta. Okay, that's better. Oh no, the Gazurka. If this is true, this is beyond level trolling. This is not even just trolling at this point. But then again, funny is funny. Let's move on. Nobody thought she was hot. Come on, don't lie to ourselves here. Nobody thought that she was hot. She's banging some Hollywood producer or something. You know, maybe her father knows him. This is egregious, but oh fuck, Rihanna! I had no idea you look like a bloated fucking middle school boy, but you know, Sydney Sweeney is some elite level cocksucking. Gotta say, she looked like a little gremlin. I swear, you go to any college, you find chicks better looking than her. Like, fuck, she looks like a gremlin in this. She's up to some shady activities. You could tell. You could tell she's up to some shady activities. She had to grease the union of the big Hollywood to get her roles, obviously. But who the fuck is this guy? Tyson Hopkins, Nico's Gordon Fuentes. Not like I pay attention anyways, but you know. Monica Friends dollar for telling her dad she cheated on her. Hey, that's a W daughter. W daughter right.
You are a married woman, and I'm just a child, and I'm still more loyal than you are. Little girl, you are punished. Don't touch no game. Don't touch no game. How you gonna punish me when you cheated on my dad? I was cheating on him, Leilani. That ain't your business, and it damn sure ain't your place.
Fuck. Daughter, a real one. Man, fuck that whole mom. Keep it a real. Girl tases herself, finds out. That's actually her brain. Her brain actually thinks throughout the day.
With the Parker, let him
His
do
face.
it. I'm scared. If you
That's her brain every day, 24/7. You know, the Taylor doing some realistic art in person. Holy shit, bro. Justin. They got to you. You look like a gremlin. The fucking elites. They got to you. They did some fucking weird rape ritual on you, sex magic or something. 'Cause you look terrible, bro. You look like they took fentanyl and everything. Everybody pray for my boy Justin out here. He clearly has some demons in him. Clearly has some demons in him. I'm feeling some heebie-jeebies just looking at this picture right here. Like I feel uncomfortable. I feel violated looking at this picture right here. I feel tense in my body looking at this picture. Expel the demons out. They done did Justin fucked up. But the real question is, if your mom cheated on your dad, are you a better version of your dad? Like, did she cheat with better genetics, or what? Are you like some 6'5" stud walking around? You know, nice jawline, all that shit, big IQ, or are you just you look like a second version of your dad, and you would never have figured it out if they didn't take a DNA test. You know, that's the sad thing. If your mom actually cheated on your dad right here, like in this case, and like you turn out looking just like him, like what's the fucking point of her cheating then? At least she's gonna cheat. She's gonna cheat with some stud or something, right? You know, cheat for the good genetics. You're out here looking like a gremlin too. I get it, but like we can empathize with this guy over here. You know, he's big mad. If I know his kids in haze and shit like that. Whoa, that's so pretty. Look at the ocean. Crazy about the wave. This hurts me. The noise hurts me.
But I want to be married in the wedding and do all that stuff. So I need to be this person.
Look, I tried to listen, but it was fucking annoying, and it was like the whole explaining with the masculine energy, and I didn't want to listen to that, so I tried to skip through it. So pretty much, you're doing the whole math thing, where it's like, I'm gonna be wrinkly and expired by the age of whatever the fuck, so I need to get married now. But I already have 80 bodies. So I don't know. I don't have any um, value in my soul no more because I've been fucked so many times. But yeah. That's generally how it works. Remember, kids, ladies and gentlemen, you know, teenager, whoever, it's quality over quantity, all right? Quality over quantity. I can never get used to talking to this fucking webcam. It's like talking to you guys, talking to the so called chatters that are viewing this. It's weird. As a grown man, you think you'd have shame. You know, I have shame within me to be talking to a fucking camera. Or talking to the camera to you guys through the fucking spatial magic. Feels weird. But beyond that, it is what it is. It's conversation through osmosis. You know, I don't know how these streamers do it. You gotta be mentally ill to be sitting at your desk for 8, 9 hours a day, just talking to chat. At that point, you're just like, fuck. There's no me time. There's no alone time. Like you gotta just be good friends with your chat at that point. You know, at that point, you just better start giving them some top tier life advice. You know, they're pretty much your family at that point. They're like your cousins. Could be true. Get nudged towards bigger building blocks of thought. Yeah, that could be true. Maybe I gotta be like IRL, just walking around doing shit. Cause sitting at a desk and doing reaction is kind of lame. And if I played any video games, it'd be kind of lame too. You know? Like, obviously, you guys would be able to tell I don't give a flying fuck about the game. I could pretend to be like, "Whoa, look at this! Whoa, look at that! It's so amazing." So amazing, man. The game, it's just wow, the pixels, the graphics, wow, amazing. Oh, I just killed the boss, amazing. But no. There's very few games that even catch my attention to where I could play for more than an hour. Man, Twitter, what's up with you? My bad, X. Bro, the fuck is this? Holy shit, bro. I mean, at least I ran the fuck over. Okay, that's cool. Maybe this guy didn't have hate. He just had objective reality that he disliked. Is it hate? Criticism of Israel now makes you ineligible for U.S. citizenship. Ain't no fucking way. You can't take away U.S. citizenship for talking about Israel. Oh. Snopes and Grok. Every single is rarely in America. Great cancer. That's about right. Trying to find herself fresher, not as fresh. That's right here. Ooh, fresh bread. Bread after a couple of days out in the sun. I don't know how. Weinstein was pushing some pretty big gremlin looking motherfuckers. Okay. He was pushing some gremlins onto the stage, onto the movies. I love these specific fucking meme jokes. The face, the motherfucker. You were an executive and you were like, holy fuck, some random fucking gremlin hippie, number 4 or 5 looking out of 10, came from Juilliard thinking they're the shit, trying to get a role from me. I don't give a fuck if you give the best fucking blowjobs on earth. I have a reputation to withhold, and you are not gonna make it in my movie. Okay. Whatever Harvey Weinstein was, you gotta admit, or whatever. If you were some Hollywood executive, you would not be settling for these low tier actresses and actors. Okay, you gotta have some class, some standards. When you gotta do some weird Hollywood ritual to get them in, to get them famous. If they want to get famous, you gotta get some high quality ones. If they want to get famous, all right. What a pussyfooter. Pussyfooting around. What you're saying, if you were a Hollywood executive, you wouldn't want to hire hotter looking ones, because, if they got to get famous, they got to give some favors, right? Why would you let some fucking gremlins give you favors? What? It's always the boomers. They listen to their fucking mainstream stuff. I swear. They probably still think Reagan's alive and shit like that, and Reagan was the greatest ever. They probably still believe the education department of America, of the government, is here to educate you. Imagine a world without Islam. They put 2 towers. A world without Islam, the world would fracture in half. Why do Jews get so mad when people question 9/11? I don't know. I haven't asked an actual Jew in real life about 9/11 yet. Seems like a sticky topic. Shit, can't show that. Sexual content. Woman forced her boyfriend to pay for a meet and greet with boozy. There's violence or something. Wait, this isn't violence. This is showing domestic abuse and why it's bad, okay? Showing this guy, even man, this fat dude could get domestically abused by these type of partners, okay? I'm adding commentary, okay? Men can get abused by these demonic looking chicks.
Goddess Miss Sugar Happy.
Man, look at her. Look at her. Bro, there's no way this and this is the same chick. What the fuck? That's a lot of makeup. Oh, go back. I've seen this build before. I've seen this fucking goldfish looking build before. Her fucking Dr. Seuss cat in the hat looking, the Who people from Whoville looking fucking. Man, even the fucking eyelashes can't save them. The eyelashes cannot save them. Look at this extra extensions and shit. You still got the fucking fat, big blubber face. No fucking definition in here. You could tell them eyes. No, some fucking demonic eyes. These are not the same people. These are not the same people. No amount of contouring and shit could make this glasses. I don't believe it. The fuck? YouTube, don't get on me. I was trying to show commentary for domestic abuse, okay? That shit was. Well, okay. Interesting. I don't know if the accusations are true or not. Neither should I really give a fuck, because it has none of my business to pertain. I cannot verify it, so I can't speak on it. Or I could, but I really don't give a fuck
come
about
out of the
that.
shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law abiding,
Speaking about the boomers, okay. He does got the fucked up sadistic look in his eye. Yeah, that is true. Come on, package. Now she's got to be way fatter, okay? Way fatter and way uglier. But yeah. Damn, okay. This is Texas too. She all right. Out of tats.
for more. Why not increase the price and therefore increase the profit?
We own everything.
Joe, I haven't had an Arizona tea in forever. I should slide to the fucking gas station and get that Arizona tea, man. I miss that shit. It's artificial sugar for me, man. That stuff makes my brain foggy. But once in a while you gotta have a nice cold Arizona. But the ginseng, or what's the newest ones they had coming out? The one with the fucking RX, the energy drink with the orange juice or the whatever with the different herbs and stuff with the guy running. I love those. Those were like cool energy drinks. Orange juice. Isn't it strange? It's gotta be some fat German guy behind this post. Like, interesting. Talking about how everything pure is white and everything bad is black. Decay, danger. I mean, you really look at it though, everything starts from darkness. And reality, the ultimate darkness is where everything stems from. But it doesn't mean that humans can take the dark attributes and make it their own. Race is a social construct, so it wouldn't mean anything if they wanted to be racist. Okay, sure. Egalitarian pussy boy. Oh, let's see
Je
this.
vais faire fumer de l'eau sur le front du juge. Et après, on va embrasser le bonhomme.
Yo, either the baby senses something creepy about this fucking priest, or this baby's being dramatic and it deserves a slap for during the fucking baptism. You want to cry, baby?
Alors, voilà. Voilà.
Okay, I'm starting to think the baby could sense something with this fucking priest over here. If my husband didn't knock that motherfucker out right there, I could be getting a new one. Queen Ray Lynn. Fucking definition of trailer. I'm on the R6 Twitch chat siege cup. Okay, KFC looking motherfucker. Cool, cool. This must be an old video. When was this video taken? Must be the early. This physiognomy, whatever, tells me that this guy is a fucking pussy boy, weirdo, pedo. Yeah, definitely. Ungood jawline, structure not correct, forehead all out, eyes recessed in. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. You know, just because he doesn't look like some fucking Aryan stud, some Viking stud or some shit. Wait a minute. Favorite empathy, kindness, and moral conviction. Yeah, fuck you, bitch.
An aid deal. It expires in 2020.
Gotta come out with the definitions. All right, that's enough for the For You page. If your brain is your moat, you won't have a moat for much longer. Cool. What? This guy Zerka got a Lambo or what?
The hood.
Corvette. That's a nice choice. That is so true. Man, every single time I come across some fucking 70-year-old, when they were young, they were in their hippie days. And you know what? When I was younger, I'd be like, they've been into this earth for 70 years. Let's ask them something. They're like, not gonna lie, I smoked joints my whole life and was a fucking loser. I got nothing to tell you. I just barely made it to the age of 70. I'm like, interesting. And what the fuck are you looking old for out here? Teasing me to ask about life questions with you when I'm a fucking 12-year-old, 11-year-old. Turns out you didn't know shit. Got me out here wasting time asking old people shit. Sure. Oh, now they start showing white guys in the fucking military ads. When they need to recruit people for the future Middle Eastern wars, now you start showing white guys. But before it was every single LGBT, lesbian, fucking gay couple with the black guy and some black chick or some other thing. Okay, I see now. Or the one chick with the two moms. Okay. But now you want to show some white guys when you got to draw from the talent pool to send them overseas to die for your wars. Gotcha, U.S. military. Gotcha. Study winners faced and study. You got an armed guard against. What the fuck? Weak ass computer decided to go low battery on me, huh? Fuck you, pussy boy computer. Wonder if I'm gonna have to chop this shit up later. I'm gonna have to download the fucking VOD and chop it up for you guys. Maybe I got some good clips. I definitely got some good clips. Go viral clips. None is better than cow. Yes, it is.
Four-dimensional space was to gain at least some idea of the so-called astral realm and still higher forms of existence. I have already pointed out that entering the astral world is initially quite confusing for students of esotericism. four-dimensional space was to gain at least some idea of the so-called astral realm and still higher forms of existence. I have already pointed out that entering the astral world is initially quite confusing for students of esotericism. Without making a closer study of theosophy and esoteric subjects, at least on a theoretical level, it is extremely difficult to form any idea of the very different nature of the objects and beings that we encounter in the so-called astral world. Let me briefly sketch this difference to show you how great it is. In the simplest example I mentioned, we have to learn to read all numbers in reverse. Esoteric students who are accustomed to reading numbers only as they are read here in the physical world will not be able to find their way through the labyrinth of the astral realm. In the astral world, a number such as 467 must be read 764. You must become used to reading each number symmetrically as its mirror image. This is the basic prerequisite. Applying this rule to spatial figures or numbers is easy enough, but it becomes more difficult when we begin to deal with relationships in time, which must also be interpreted symmetrically. That is, later events come first and earlier events appear later. Thus, when you observe astral events, you must be able to read them backward, from the end to the beginning. I can only suggest the character of these phenomena, which can seem totally grotesque if you have no idea of what is going on. In the astral realm, the son is there first and then the father. The egg is there first and the chicken follows. In the physical world, the sequence is different. Birth happens first, and birth means that something new emerges from something old. In the astral world, the reverse takes place. There, the old emerges from the new. In the astral realm, the fatherly or motherly element appears to engulf the son or daughter. Greek mythologies provide a lovely allegory. The three gods, Uranus, Kronos, and Zeus, symbolize the three worlds. Uranus represents the heavenly world, or Devachan, Kronos, the astral world, and Zeus, the physical world. It is said of Kronos that he devoured his children. In the astral realm, offspring are not born, but devoured. The issue becomes even more complex when we consider morality on the astral plane. Morality, too, appears in reverse form, or as its own mirror image. You can imagine how greatly explanations of events there differ from our habitual explanations in the physical world. Imagine, for example, that we see a wild animal approaching us in the astral realm, and it strangles us. That is how it appears to someone who is used to interpreting external events. But we cannot interpret this event as we would in the physical world. In reality, the wild animal is an internal quality. An aspect of our own astral body is strangling us. The attacking strangler is a quality that is rooted in our own desires. If we have a vengeful thought, for example, the thought may appear in external form, tormenting us as the angel of death. In reality, everything in the astral world radiates from us. We must interpret everything that seems to approach us in the astral world as radiating outward from ourselves. See figure 18. It comes back to us on all sides, as if from the periphery, from infinite space. In truth, however, we are confronting only what our own astral body has given off. We interpret the astral world correctly and discover its truth only when we are able to bring the periphery into the center, to construe the periphery as the central element. The astral world appears to bear down on you from all sides, but you must envision it as actually radiating outward from you in all directions. At this point, I would like to make you aware of a concept that is very important in esoteric schooling. It appears ghost-like in many different works on occult research, but seldom is it understood correctly. Once you have achieved a certain level of esoteric development, you must learn what your karma predisposes you to find in the astral world. What joys, sorrows, pain, and so forth can you expect to encounter? Correct theosophical thinking allows you to realize that in this day and age, your outer life and physical body are nothing more than the result or intersection of two streams that converge from opposite directions. Picture one stream coming from the past and one coming from the future. The result is two intermingling streams that join together at all these points. See figure 19. Imagine a red stream flowing from one direction and a blue stream flowing from the other. Now picture 4 different points where the streams join together. At each of these 4 points, the red and blue streams interact. This is an image of the interaction of 4 successive incarnations. In each incarnation, we encounter something coming from one direction and something coming from the other. You might say that one stream always travels toward you, and that you bring the other stream along with you. Each human being is the confluence of 2 such streams. To gain an idea of this state of affairs, imagine in this way. As you sit here today, you have a certain sum of experiences. At the same time, tomorrow, the sum of these events will be different. Now imagine that the experiences you will possess tomorrow are already there. Becoming aware of them would be like seeing a panorama of events coming toward you in space. Imagine that the stream coming toward you from the future is bringing you the experiences you will have between today and tomorrow. You are supported by the past as the future comes to meet you. At any point in time, 2 streams flow together to form your life. One stream flows from the future toward the present, and the other from the present toward the future, and an interface occurs wherever they meet. Anything that still remains for us to experience in our life appears in the form of astral phenomena, which makes a tremendous impression on us. Imagine that students of esotericism reach the point in their development when they are meant to see into the astral world. Their senses are open, and they perceive all their future experiences until the end of this time period as outer phenomena surrounding them in the astral world. This sight makes a great impression on each student. An important level in esoteric schooling is reached when students experience an astral panorama of everything they have yet to encounter up to the middle of the 6th root race, which is how long our incarnations will last. The way is opened to them. Without exception, students of esotericism experience all the remaining outer phenomena they will encounter from the near future to the 6th root race. When you reach this threshold, the question arises, do you want to experience all this in the shortest possible time? That is the issue for initiation candidates. As you consider this question, your entire future life appears to you in a single moment in the external panorama characteristic of astral vision. Some people will decide not to set out into the astral realm, while others will feel that they must enter. At this point in esoteric development, which is known as the threshold or moment of decision, we experience ourselves along with everything we must still live through. This phenomenon, which is known as meeting the guardian of the threshold, is nothing more than facing our own future life. Our own future lies beyond the threshold. Another unique quality of the world of astral phenomena is initially quite impenetrable if that world is revealed suddenly through one of life's unforeseen events. When this happens, there is nothing more confusing than this terrible sight. It is good to know about it in case the astral world suddenly breaks in on you as the result of a pathological event, such as the loosening of the connection between the physical body and the etheric body, or between the ether body and the astral body. Such events can reveal a view of the astral world to people who are quite unprepared for it. These people then report seeing apparitions that they cannot interpret because they do not know that they must read them in reverse. For instance, they do not know that a wild animal attacking them must be interpreted as a reflection of an internal quality. In Kamaloka, a person's astral forces and passions appear in a great variety of animal forms. In Kamaloka, recently disembodied individuals who still possess all their passions, drives, wishes, and desires are not a pretty sight. Such people, though they are no longer in possession of physical and etheric bodies, still retain all the astral elements that bind them to the physical world and that can be satisfied only through a physical body. Think of average modern citizens who never amounted to much in their lives and made no particular effort to achieve religious development. They may not have rejected religion in theory, but in practice, that is, as far as their own feelings were concerned, they threw it out the window. It was not a vital element in their lives. What do such people's astral bodies contain? They contain nothing but urges that can be satisfied only through the physical organism, such as the desire to enjoy tasty food, for example. Satisfying this desire, however, would require taste buds, or the individual in question may long for other pleasures that can be satisfied only by moving the physical body. Suppose that such urges persist, living on in the astral body after the physical body is gone. We find ourselves in this situation if we die without first undergoing astral cleansing and purification. We still have the urge to enjoy tasty food and so on, but such urges are impossible to satisfy. They cause terrible torment in Kamaloka, where those who die without first purifying the astral body must lay their desires aside. The astral body is freed only when it learns to relinquish the desires and wishes that can no longer be satisfied. In the astral world, urges and passions take on animal shapes. As long as a human being is incarnated in a physical body, the shape of the astral body conforms, more or less, to the human physical body. When the material body is gone, however, the animal nature of urges, desires, and passions is revealed in the forms they assume. In the astral world, therefore, an individual is a reflection of his or her urges and passions. Because these astral beings can also make use of other bodies, it is dangerous to allow mediums to go into a trance without the presence of a clairvoyant who can ward off evil. In the physical world, the form of a lion expresses certain passions, while a tiger expresses other passions, and a cat still others. It is interesting to realize that each animal form is the expression of a specific passion or urge. In the astral world, in Kamaloka, we approximate the nature of animals through our passions. This fact is the source of a common misunderstanding with regard to the doctrine of transmigration of souls taught by Egyptian and Indian priests and teachers of wisdom. This doctrine, which teaches that we should live in ways that do not cause us to incarnate as animals, does not apply to physical life, but only to higher life. It is intended only to encourage people to live their earthly lives in ways that will not require them to assume animal forms after death, in Kamaloka. For example, someone who cultivates the character of a cat during earthly life appears in the form of a cat in Kamaloka. To allow individuals to appear in human form in Kamaloka is the goal of the doctrine of transmigration of souls. Scholars who fail to understand the true teachings have only an absurd idea of this doctrine. We saw that when we enter the astral realm of numbers, time, and morality, we are dealing with a complete mirror image of everything we customarily think and do here on the physical plane. We must acquire the habit of reading in reverse, a skill we will need when we enter the astral realm. Learning to read in reverse is easiest when we take up elementary mathematical ideas, such as those suggested in the previous lecture. In the discussions that follow, we will become more and more familiar with these ideas. I would like to begin with a very simple one, namely the idea of a square. Picture a square, as you are accustomed to seeing it, see figure 20. I will draw each of its four sides in a different color. This is what a square looks like in the physical world. Now I will draw a square as it looks in Devacon. It is impossible to draw this figure precisely, but I want to give you at least an idea of what a square would look like on the mental plane. The mental equivalent of a square is something approximating a cross. See figure 21. Its main features are two intersecting perpendicular axes, or if you will, two lines that cross each other. The physical counterpart is constructed by drawing lines perpendicular to each of these axes. The physical counterpart of a mental square can best be imagined as a stoppage in two intersecting streams. Let's imagine these perpendicular axes as streams or forces working outward from their point of intersection, with counter tendencies working in from the opposite direction, from the outside inward. See figure 22. A square arises in the physical world when we imagine that these two types of streams or forces, one coming from within and one coming from outside, meet and hold each other at bay. Boundaries develop where a stoppage occurs in the streams of force. This image describes how everything on the mental plane relates to everything on the physical plane. You can construct the mental counterpart of any physical object in the same way. This square is only the simplest possible example. If for any given physical object, you could construct a correlate that relates to that object in the same way that two intersecting perpendicular lines relate to a square, the result would be the image of the physical object in Devacon on the mental level. With objects other than a square, this process is much more complicated, of course. Now, instead of the square, imagine a cube. A cube is very similar to a square. A cube is a figure bounded by 6 squares. Mr. Shelton has made an extra model showing the 6 squares that delineate a cube. Instead of the 4 boundary lines in a square, imagine 6 surfaces forming the boundaries. Imagine that the boundary of the stopped forces consists of perpendicular surfaces instead of perpendicular lines, and assume that you have 3 instead of 2 perpendicular axes. You have just defined a cube. At this point, you probably also can imagine a cube's correlate on the mental level. Again, we have 2 figures that complement each other. A cube has 3 perpendicular axes in 3 different directions to its surfaces. You must imagine that stoppage occurs in these 3 surface directions, see figure 23. The 3 directions of the axes and the 6 surfaces, like the square's 2 axes, directions, and 4 lines, can be imagined only as opposites of a particular sort. Anyone who thinks about this subject at all must conclude that in order to imagine these figures, we must first arrive at a concept of opposites that contrast activity and counteractivity, or stoppage. This concept of opposites must enter into our considerations. The examples we used are simple, but by practicing with geometric concepts, we will learn how to construct the mental counterparts of more complicated objects properly. This activity will show us the way to higher knowledge to a certain extent. You already can imagine the monumental complexity of trying to find the mental counterpart of some other figures. Far greater complications emerge. Just imagine thinking about a human form and its mental counterpart, with all its different shapes and activity. You can conceive what a complicated mental structure this would be. My book titled Theosophy gives approximations of how mental counterparts would look. In the case of a cube, we have 3 extensions, or 3 axes. 2 planes, one on each side, are perpendicular to each axis. At this point, you need to understand clearly that each surface of a cube, like the human life I described earlier, comes about as the meeting of 2 streams. You can picture streams moving outward from the midpoint. Imagine one of these axial directions. Space streams outward from the midpoint in one direction and toward the midpoint from the other direction, from infinity. Now envision these streams in 2 different colors, one red and one blue. At the moment of their meeting, they flow together to create a surface. Thus we can see the surface of a cube as the meeting of 2 opposing streams in a surface. This visualization gives us a living idea of the nature of a cube. A cube is a section of 3 interacting streams. When you think of the totality of their interaction, you are dealing with 6 directions rather than 3. Backward, forward, up, down, and right, left. There are actually 6 directions. The issue is complicated further by the existence of 2 types of streams, one moving outward from a point and another moving inward from infinity. This will give you a perspective on the practical applications of higher theoretical theosophy. Any direction in space must be interpreted as 2 opposing streams, and any physical shape must be imagined as their result. Let's call these 6 streams or directions A, B, C, D, E, and F. If you could visualize these 6 directions, and next time we will talk about how to cultivate such mental images, and then eliminate the first and last, A and F, 4 would remain. Please note that these remaining 4 are the ones you can perceive.
I'll have to listen to that again later and get the grasp of the gist of it. 2 different streams intersect to create one thing, stream or something. I have to listen to what Rudolf Steiner. It's about the other was the black kid that stabbed the white kid. You know, I have to watch myself. I gotta keep it PG. Oh, this is a great advertisement for a fucking Tesla, you know. Besides me having to plug shit in, you know what I mean? You know, plug it in, wait, and all that stuff. I wouldn't mind having a Cybertruck, you know, self-driving car, drinking coffee, relaxing, enjoying the ride.
Fireblood, the all-in-one solution that fuels your journey to dominance. This revolutionary formula replaces your cluttered supplement cabinet with a single, powerful scoop. Packed with essential nutrients, Fireblood addresses your foundational health needs, leaving you energized, focused, and ready to conquer. When your schedule is stacked, your training is intense, and the pressure is on, you need an ally. Fireblood is that ally. Unleash your inner champion.
So it turns out every single woman on earth is a hoe and has access to the internet because they have Instagram. Or if they don't have Instagram and they just have email or Snapchat, then I guess they're not a hoe then, right? Like Snapchat is any better. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna go buy a hookah pipe or some shit. She's a dude? There's no way. This guy Ronnie is piping a dude. Oh, she's not a dude, and that's just Ron DeSantis in a picture. Okay. Oh, you can tell by his face. Yeah, you got a fucked up soul. He's definitely done all that shit. And Michelle Wu, you gonna suck a fucking dick, you fucking ugly fucking hoe. Yeah, ugly fucking, what is it? Ching Chang look. Oh. I just turned to wait for a second with the raises. Hold up. Yo, if you're gonna be a fucking chinky ling ling bitch, then can you at least be a hot one? Or you just be a ugly fucking mayor? Well, ugly soul, bro.